Hello and welcome back to the No Balls Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick McDonald, with me co-host Sheldon Kaufman. It's been a while. We're finally back. We've had exams, we've had March Madness, we've had computer issues, we've had everything. Nothing's gonna stop us now, I guess. Um, Today we're gonna be talking about March Madness. We're gonna be talking about Mickey Mouse March in the NBA. Maybe we'll talk about some early playoff stuff, some 65 game minimum. Those things have been swirling around a ton. Before we get any of that out of the way, we have the immaculate grid of the day. This time I will be doing it. Sheldon will be sharing it on the screen.
All right,
Sheldon, you
Pat,
got
this
any? I
one's
was
going
gonna
to
say if
tie
you had any
into,
initial comments too, go ahead.
yes. Well, I was just going to say this immaculate grid coming up here is tied into today's episode, so it should be a good one. We'll see if Pat can cook or if he'll go for the low hanging fruit.
Okay.
Oh,
And
slowly
it
but
is
surely.
up.
Here we go.
Okay. Oh yeah, there's definitely some low hanging
Obviously, as
fruit
you
there.
can see, the Duke is the
Mm,
what ties into today. So got some draft stuff too. It's an interesting one.
yes. First round draft pick of Orlando or Boston. Yeah, so let's go with Boston and let's go Romeo Langford for that one. Well-known draft bust, Romeo Langford.
Yeah, I think that's the second Romeo Langford that you've used.
Yeah.
It
Honestly, might have
was a
been the same
similar
category.
no, it literally was. I mean, I don't know what other
100%.
else category you'd be using him for.
Yeah, maybe like one team,
All right, so
but he
Romeo
probably bounced
Langford.
around somewhere else too. Spurs Magic. That's like the only team to team one. So I don't know. Probably got to think of something pretty nice for that one, but I don't have anything immediately jumping out to me. I think there's got to be an obvious one out there, but I just can't think of one right now. Duke and the Duke ones. There's a ton of Duke All Stars. Magic has Paolo Banchero most notably. And then the Celtics obviously have Jason Tatum. Should I take the low hanging fruit there? I don't know. I feel like those are going to be like 70%. Magic first round pick.
Maybe
I
we
think
could
I could
definitely
get a
do
pretty
it.
good
Maybe if
one
you can
there.
think of one for the Magic, yeah.
What?
What are we thinking? What are we thinking for the Magic
Yeah.
first round pick?
They've had a lot. Mo Bamba could be a good answer. That could be pretty good. Let's Aaron Gordon. I don't think Aaron Aflalo was a Magic pick. Who did they draft even like before Aaron Gordon? Or was Tobias
Well,
Harris
if
a
this says
no?
here, Pat, that I don't think they have to be drafted by the team
Oh,
as long as they were a first round
wait.
draft pick and played for the team.
Okay.
Can you
Or
see
played
that
for that team
little
for
thing?
okay, okay, yeah. Then that's way easier. I'm gonna go Goga Batadze then because he was a non-Magic first round pick. He was a Pacers pick.
Wow. I was like, bro, please work, because if that's I just screwed him up. All right, there we go. So yeah, you just need.
All right. Basically any All-Star ever. Not any All-Star, but uh could we go who was like a really like Jarrett Allen was an
Yeah.
All-Star and a first rounder. He's 27th overall by the Nets that year in 2017, I think.
Okay. Wow.
Point two. Let's
The
go.
pools are pretty deep right now. You might be able to get away with like 170%er.
Yeah, so a Duke. Oh, let's go for Duke Magic. Let's go JJ Redick.
Ooh, sneaky. I feel like
Oh,
20, even though 21's like, I feel like that's good considering like all the name. You know what I mean? Like that's a good
Yeah,
big
I
name
would
guy.
assume he's their
Because I feel
number
like
two
everyone else
name,
is going to be
though.
like 70%.
Yeah, I could have probably dug deeper since it doesn't have to be drafted by Orlando or drafted by Boston. So I could have probably dug a little bit deeper on that one. A Duke draftee who eventually played with Boston that isn't Jason Tatum. Who would this be? See, most of the guys are currently on teams. They've had so many centers go to the league. None of them have played for Boston. Uh, how is Boston like Joe Mazzulla's awesome conglomeration of white players? How is that not had a single Duke one?
Yeah, how is there not more of a hub or more of a
Yeah, like
option to choose for it? Dang, choose.
it's like
I'm trying to think. I really can't think of anybody. I can't even like.
I can't think of anybody that isn't.
Besides Tatum, do we just go Tate?
Yeah,
Do you just go Tatum?
why can't I? Who did Tatum play with? That's a better question. Okay, Marvin Bagley was a Duke player. He didn't end up going to Boston ever. Um, but he played the year after Tatum. Who was the year before Tatum? 20 Brandon Ingram, but he didn't end up on Boston ever. Darn, I can't get any deeper than Tatum. I don't know why I can't, but yeah, I guess I have to go Tatum.
56. All right, not too bad.
That's not as bad as I thought. Yeah, a Duke
Yeah.
All-Star.
Now a Duke All Star. I think you said one, Marvin
Was
Bagley earlier.
Boozer was Boozer ever an All-Star? Is the real? I feel like he definitely was a
I
2000s
feel like he
All-Star
had to
at some
be.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Carlos Boozer. I think he was like a two-time All-Star.
Bob Boozer, Carlos.
Ooh,
Because you could be.
let's
Oh
go.
wait, no. All right, 12%.
12. Yeah,
That's a
that's kind of what I thought.
crazy. What does he have going on? Or am I just tripping? Something about that beard lineup is throwing me off.
Yeah, I think he looks. Oh, it's the Laker jersey, I
Wasn't he the
think,
same one that had the
or the
crazy
old.
hairline? Like he had the sprayed on hairline?
I don't know. Actually, I really don't
I think
know.
so.
I've never heard of that.
All right, you
A
keep.
Spurs All-Star. Um, the the Spurs definitely had in the 2014 season definitely had like a fake All-Star, but I don't. Huh. After a very not immaculate grid, not sure how much of that was recorded by the software, but we'll figure it out. We're now talking about basketball, actual basketball, not just the hoops grid. We got March Madness going on. That's the main focus of this, and we're not exclusively going to talk about March Madness, but we are. We're going to also talk about things that we think we've learned about future NBA players from this March Madness. As it currently stands, the Elite Eight is starting today. Sheldon, how's the bracket doing for all the people?
Bracket, it's really rough. St. John's had that 10-point lead yesterday. 15 minutes to go in the second half. I started to get a little excited. That would have been big. Um, I think you're first in our league right now in the bracket league.
Yeah,
Um,
I have a lot riding on
Michigan.
some upsets in the Elite
Oh,
Eight
really?
though.
Okay.
So
Well, I mean, if
yeah,
I have Arizona, Arizona looks good. Um, and then you take into account that Iowa State goes down by 4. They lose last night to Tennessee. And I believe Jefferson did not play in that game. Yeah.
yeah, he's been out
So
all
that was a
tournament.
huge, huge blow for that team. And you saw it in Kentucky in the first half. They looked like kind of lost out there. But yeah, shout out Nate Ament, 18 points, 3 for 4 from 3. I really like Nate Amen in this draft. But yeah, so the bracket, hopefully Arizona can take it. Maybe I'll get third place. But my upsets were not looking too good, and then I missed on a lot of stuff.
My bracket is very much, I need Michigan to win, or at least make the final game and have an upset get to the final game and beat them. Otherwise, like if Michigan doesn't get to the final, I basically am not gonna place on the podium in our bracket. But man, it's been a great March Madness. I think my huge takeaway is they really let them play in March. Like there is never
Yeah.
The whistle is very not loose but infrequent, and like a lot of really good stuff happens. And then I think the most fun part is like the talent, not disadvantages, but like there's clear disparities in talent in times, but there's still ways for other teams, underdogs, to win just by the nature of how college basketball is, and the even greater variance that you can have with 3-point shooting. We saw that with St. John's in the first half the other night, where they were shooting the lights out in the first half, and then it goes away a little bit in the second half. They suddenly aren't forcing as many turnovers when Caleb Foster starts playing a little bit more in the second half. And that Duke St. John's game was pretty interesting. In that game, we had a bunch of future NBA players, most notably Cam Boozer is probably going to go within the top 3 to 4 picks in the draft this year. Zubi Ejiofor is still for St. John's. Isaiah Evans had a great game. He's probably going to go in the late first, early second this year. Pat Gamba could be a first-round pick as well. Quite a lot of talent. What would have been like the huge takeaways that you've had from these prospects so far in March?
Yeah, well, we'll talk about Cam Boozer. I thought the most interesting thing was, he had probably his best game against St. John's yesterday. Struggled a little bit against Siena. Even though he had 22 points, I think people watching the game, it was clear to see, a lot of his points were coming from, getting fouled. Siena game, 4 for 11 from the field, 13 for 14 from the free throw line. And then against TCU, 7 for 10, 5 for 5 from the free throw line, 7 for 16, and 8 for 9 from the free throw line against St. John's. But he looked really good against St. John's. I feel like he was getting to the basket a lot, and he was able to knock down. They're actually not knocked down any threes, but he was able to get to the basket and play his game. That was definitely a promising sign. His defense has shown, super lengthy, super tall, really big body. Great rebounder as well. But yeah, the offensive game is still looking a little lackluster, talking about from a creation side of things. Still a guy that can shoot the ball well, which I think a lot of teams will like because he's able to space the floor at least. At least he can shoot it. But I thought Caden Boozer actually took some pretty big steps in this March Madness. He looked really good running the point after their injury at point guard. And Isaiah Evans is a nice shooter, really great shooter, really good scorer. That's what I noticed during that St. John's game. But Pat, another guy that really caught my attention, and this was also on the same day, and this is switching to a new game, even though they kind of got blown, or they only lost by 13 to Michigan. LeBarion Philon. He's nice, and I think that's an understatement. 35 points, 6 for 14 from 3, 10 for 21 from the field. He's been putting up 20 plus point games like throughout the season, and against good competition. I think I've seen him like top 10, top 15. You talk about a guard that is 6'4", definitely can play in the league, and he shoots 39% from the 3-point line, and went up toe against Michigan. And I think Yaxel Lunderberg really caught my eye as well, Pat. Super big body wing, really consistent from the 3-point line, very active defensively, and also a great finisher at the rim and getting to the rim. Like he can slash and he can really shoot it. I believe he's a little older, right? And that always
it's like 24 4 already. So
Yeah,
yeah,
so that's always like a question. That's something I usually don't look at. But I think Yaxel kind of an afterthought for me as the season was going on. But after this March Madness, it's really opened my eyes to see how good he is. But yeah, I'll let you talk for a little bit before I guess I can keep going on every single game. But
no, that Alabama game was great because Yaxel and Philon were two guys who were a lot of people looked into them last year for the draft. Yaxel was at UAB, and then LeBaron Philon was still at Alabama last season, and I think we actually drafted LeBaron Philon in our mock draft last year as
yeah,
with the second round or the second first rounder that the Suns had. I remember we liked that. But then I think he pulled out the draft like a couple days later or something like that. Um, yeah, I didn't know he was this great of a shooter, even when I looked into him like for a little bit last season. Like his shooting has really impressed me. That Michigan defense is insane, and he kind of felt like the only guy who could get stuff going in the half court the other day against Michigan. And Yaxel was the primary defensive matchup on him, which you know I think it's a little bit more saying of Michigan that they kind of don't really have good guard play, especially like point of attack defense wise. Even though they got
yeah,
some contribution from guys the other day, but uh, Yaxel's a power forward. At the end of the day, he definitely can't keep up with LeBaron Philon, and LeBaron Philon cooked. Like he did really good. Michigan, obviously, my cards are folded. They're my pick to go forward. They kind of have three like mid first round picks and like mediocre guard play. So what do we think about this Michigan team?
yeah. I think the media, like, because in March, guard play is everything, right? We've seen it, kind of throughout the tournament. That's where like you have Elliot Cadeau, um, super. I don't know. I don't know if I trust Cadeau in a big spot like the Final Four or the championship game. Uh, and I guess for me, like I lean very heavily on guard play being a big thing. I think that Michigan has the talent, of course, but a lot of that talent is towards the forward spots or the centers. Um, I still think this Michigan team's really good and will definitely give any team a run for their money. Um, but if you're going against like an Illinois who is super super tall and big, and then you also have an elite guard there um, in Keaton Wagler, and then Arizona's looked really good with Brandon Berries. Brandon Berries is really nice. I think he's going to be another guy who's been talked about in like the top 10. But I don't know. As far as this Michigan team, I think they're really good. I do think that Cadeau might cost them a possession or two in a game where you can't lose by a possession or two. You can't give up a possession or two, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. He was big the other day with how Alabama was guarding Ademara, especially when
Oh, and
like
Mara, yeah.
Ademara, yeah,
Mara's
when
really good.
Ademara and Merez Johnson were on the floor, it was kind of like it shut down basically everything that Michigan likes to do offensively. And having a guy in Cadeau who could just like hit pull up mid range jump shots was weirdly important for them. And like I feel like if they had good guard play, then teams wouldn't be able to do like the complete sag off Ademara and Merez Johnson that Alabama was doing the other day. We'll shift forward to the other team that you mentioned, Illinois versus Houston. It was a battle of two of the top guards in this upcoming class. Um, uh, Illinois ended up pulling away. They have, Keaton Wagler and a bunch of European demons. Andre Stojakovic has been awesome in March Madness play so far. Um, they ended up getting the win. What'd you think about this game with Houston and
It
Illinois?
was the worst game to watch if you love offense. If you enjoy a
Yeah,
basketball game that has offense, or not even just offense, like shot making, you did not want to tune into this game. Um, you know, it was like 2020. It was like a 20-point game, or sorry, both teams had like in the 20s at halftime. Um, Game ends. I mean, Illinois just got hot, Pat. But I mean, okay, let's see. Houston shot 34% from the field, 28% from the 3-point line. Illinois 43% from the field, 39%. I mean, Keaton Wagler obviously had a rough game shooting, but still put up 12 points. Andrei Stojakovic, yeah, he's really good. I've always liked him since he was at Cal, Pat. And this Houston defense is one of the toughest defenses to face. So, I mean, it makes sense why some of their star players were held to a little bit not. Oh, geez. It makes sense why some of the star players weren't performing up to averages, at least percentage wise. I think it was a tough, grinded out kind of game. No one really shot the lights out except for Andrei Stojakovic played really good basketball, and he's a really smart player. Dad played in the NBA, great shooter. He's a really good shooter and can finish. Has really nice footwork when he gets into the post or is just trying to create for a layup. But yeah, Kingston Flemings struggled a little bit too. 1 for 3 from him from three, 11 points, shooting 40%. They needed him in a big way, and usually he stepped up, Pat. In a lot of Houston games, it's like Kingston Fleming's middies just don't miss, right? That was not the case today. And then Wagler too, 13 points, but shot 4 for 14. But he was letting the three ball shoot it a little bit. And, as a 6'7" guard, being able to shoot that three is going to be huge in the NBA. But yeah, I mean, it was just a very gritty, dirty game. That's really the best way to describe it. Flemings did show a lot on defense, though. I think that he's a very scrappy defender, which to go along with his guard skills is going to make him what he is, and top 10 pick.
Yeah, I was gonna basically transition to talking about the guards in this tournament because we got to see Acuff play as well because we haven't gotten to the Arizona Arkansas game, but we also got to see in this last game we saw bad games from both Flemings and Keaton Wagler. There we go. And I think you had to learn a lot from bad games of prospects just to see what it looked like. I really did like what Wagler was doing. Like, he handled a ton of pressure throughout the entire game. I don't think he forced many bad decisions. He swung the ball and it led to, other players making plays and getting the assists. But I really did like what I saw out of Wagler, even if I am a little bit concerned about his ability to create advantages. I'm not really sure if that's much of the future. Which of the guards do you think played the best during March?
I'll go Flemings. I will go Flemings. I think not only through March, but just throughout the season, I've always liked Flemings more. Super tough shot maker, really crafty with his handles. I mean, I don't know. I guess if we're just talking about March, maybe Wagler. Flemings kind of struggled a little bit in March, at least scoring wise. But I do like Flemings overall. It's
You can include Acuff too.
Oh, well, if we're including Acuff, it's definitely going to be Acuff. I mean, he balled out. Against High Point, it was ridiculous. His ability to get to the rim with ease, super fast. Like, really good change of speed. Like, just able to burst there, get an easy layup, finish through a lot of, tough finishes, contact, a lot of hands up, being able to finish. And he's able to shoot the ball as well, Pat, which I think is just really dangerous. 28 against Arizona in a loss, 36 against High Point in a win. In a game that was pretty close, and not Wagler, but Acuff goes in, game's tied, 83-83. He's able to take a lead. Puts the dagger in late with a 3-pointer.
I think he scored 7 straight too.
Yeah, 3 for 6 from 3, 36 points. Acuff is really good, Patrick. Can't lie to you, obviously. I think the ability for him, the ease to get to the rim and the ability to finish, and you have that 3-point shot, it's going to be huge in the NBA. And I think his draft stock has really rose after March. I think maybe even a couple spots, maybe he jumps at least one of these guards. We'll still have to see. But I mean, just looking at right now, it's been like since February 28th was the last time he didn't go over 20 points. So he went like all those games before March 4th or after March 4th, 20 plus points per game. So absolute dog scorer. And he can dish the rock too, Pat. Don't forget. He had 6 assists, 7 assists in March. But yeah, going against that Arizona team was just really rough. I mean, they kind of got blown out. They lost by 21. Some of the guys that usually are there for him weren't there. So I think it was just unfortunate. But Acuff really turned a lot of heads, I think, especially mine.
Yeah. We'll now talk about the guys we couldn't see in March with Caleb Wilson out for the season. He had foot surgery, I believe. Michael Brown had like a back injury. It was really weird. They ended up getting bounced in the first or second round anyway. And he didn't get to play in March. And then there was one other player that we didn't get to see in March that I wanted to bring up, but they are now slipping my mind. So, um, I'll look at a mock draft and it'll come to me. So, you could talk about. There's not too much more to update on Caleb Wilson since when he got ruled out. It was about when I think he had gotten hurt the last time we talked about him, but Michael Brown as well. We could talk about him for a split second.
Yeah, Michael Brown, kind of like Caleb Wilson in a sense that when he's out, it really just changes your team. I mean, Michael Brown's been out all of March, like even in ACC tournament play, which really sucks. But I mean,
Jaden Quaintance was the other player.
oh yeah,
Jaden
Jaden Quaintance. But I mean, listen, I watched one of the games I watched from Mikhail Brown was against NC State, where he lit up NC State for 45 points. Where he shot 10 for 16 from the 3-point line. This dude is a sniper. I'm talking about like just quick sidestep threes, really, really contested shots, and he was making it look easy. This guy's a legit scorer. See, 6'5" guard, 34% from the 3-point line, and I think it's he's taking a lot of a lot of 3 points a game, a lot of contested shots. Louisville is a team that needs him to score if they want to win. Average 18 points per game. I think he's really good, Pat. I really like Mikhail Brown. I was very unfortunate that we didn't get to see him in March, but I knew as they were going up against USF, I was like, okay, well, if Mikhail Brown's playing, we're kind of screwed. But if he's not playing, we might have a chance. But I think he's just really good. Yeah, great shooter, and he's able to create his own shot, like with he's crafty off the dribble, get open for those threes.
Yeah, and notice how much guard play we've talked about, and these are guys who are probably going to go within like the 5 to 12 range. All of these guards with like Acuff, Mikhail Brown, Philon, Wagler, Flemings. Uh, there's so many guys that are very talented, and it's a very good class on that standpoint. And a large reason why they're not going towards the top is, we did see early exits from the 2 top picks with Darren Peterson and Debansa, but Debansa was awesome in his one game that he played. I believe he scored over half of BYU's points. That being said, their second best player, Richie Saunders, was out, but he still scored half of their points.
I think even
in a game they lost.
even if what's his name Saunders was in, he was going to score. The Banster was going to score a third of their points instead of half of them. He's insane.
Yeah, we'll now turn this into about a 5-minute discussion about Peterson and Debansa, because I don't. This is 2 of the highest upside players that we've ever really had to discuss as which one goes number 1. Like, we've had a high upside players before, but it's never like we have 2 of them and that's who we're discussing for number 1, because there is the safe player in this draft in Cam Boozer. But then he's not really being discussed at number 1 as much because these 2 guys exist. Like, how do you weigh these 2 like in super high ceiling players? Even obviously the rough March happened, but
Right.
I think we're good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just stopped my recording, but everyone else was still good.
Okay. Yeah. Where I was talking
Yeah.
about like if do you think Debanza and Peterson is like the highest ceilings we've ever had at 1-2?
At 1-2, yeah, probably. Like you're talking about like 1-2 prospect, like back to back picks. Because obviously Wemby is the greatest prospect we've seen. But then you follow
Yeah.
that up with Scoot Henderson. I don't think that he has the same hype that the Bance is getting, or the higher ceiling, even at the time. I really can't think of any. This is like one of the toughest picks, I think, or I think you're okay with either one. But man, whoever gets number one is going to be thinking about this for a long, long time because it's really tough. I mean, it's really tough, Pat. Um, because Scott, I mean, Darren Peterson against St. John's, the way he started off that game with two straight threes and like the effortless, like his jump shot is so good. It's quick release. He's able to do it off the dribble, off a move, like off a screen where he's just catching and shooting, which translate to exactly what the NBA is today, right? And then he has that ability to score at the rim. But it's not like he can do it. He can do it at a like elite level, like at a level that like high like all stars or all NBA guys are doing already in the NBA right now. He has that ability to shoot like that, and to score like that, and we've seen it throughout the year. And then you go into Bance, on the other hand, he's super athletic, super good, and super good at shooting, or not super good at shooting. Really good at scoring inside the arc as well as outside the arc. Like can make really tough jumpers, really tough fadeaways. We see that a lot in the NBA. He's able to get to the rim. And then you talk about the defense because of the length and the athleticism. Um, Super good defender. So you'll have that plus with the Debansa. But then we saw these two teams play, BYU and Kansas, and Darren Peterson cooked Debansa defensively. So I mean, it's so hard. It's really hard. I like to hear your thoughts, Pat.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's like I don't know if there's been, like I said, I don't think there's ever been 1-2 that is this good, at least for a long time. Like you probably have to go back to LeBron and Carmelo Anthony. Like is that how far we're going back? Or like Luca and DeAndre Ayton for the people who really loved those guys, even though Luca went third because they had De'Aaron Fox. The way to go, Kings. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like people really like John Zion, but I mean we've seen
How
their
they panned
careers a
out.
little disappoint, but like they were really hyped up, so maybe that's where we go to. But even like in 2017, like it was kind of Markel Fultz and then a very like open draft after that point. Like people were thinking like, oh, Josh Jackson might be the number 2 player in this draft, and Lonzo Ball is, or Malik Monk was even thrown around, and then the best player was Jason Tatum. Um, but yeah, I mean it's super talent. I don't know where I would land right now. I don't. Do you know where you would land right now between the two of
Well, I was
them?
just gonna ask Pat if you're drafting, like, is this a situation where if you're the GM of your team, are you going off of just team need because these two guys have the ability to be so great?
It depends. I think it depends who gets the number 1
Yeah,
pick, because if you're a team starting from absolutely like nothing, not like absolutely nothing, but like you're
you
pretty
don't know where you're
fresh and
going. Like
uh,
you need a new direction.
yeah, like you don't have any other pieces in place besides this guy you're picking first overall. Um, like for the Nets, example wise, like they obviously have MPJ, but he's clearly gonna get flipped here pretty soon, and like they have all of those young guards, but like outside of Yegor Zemin, they're not that invested in any of them. If I'm in the Nets scenario, like I'm taking the Bansa because I do think his ceiling's probably a little bit higher. I'd feel a little bit safer about Peterson, like fitting in as like a number 2 next to somebody. If like Dallas somehow jumps up to first, I would take Peterson. If that happens, we gotta investigate
Yeah, I'd probably be
something.
so pissed.
Dallas luckily doesn't have to like really worry about having to jump up because they'll be like seventh in the
Yeah,
draft
they'll be
anyway,
able
and they'll be able to get like
to like
the second
a
best
cup
guard in
or
this
something.
in this awesome class.
Um, I don't know. I mean, I think I was leaning to Bansta until that BYU Kansas game, and I kind of told myself I think Peterson. Um, yeah, I'm gonna ignore like that's the question like does he love the game stuff. I'm gonna ignore that, and I'm gonna go Peterson. Um, but man, it's
I w-
like I can't think of the metaphor, but it's like super close. Like it's so hard to like differentiate it, in my opinion.
yeah, they're both so like, and I think the key with Peterson too is like there's clearly like it's very similar to Trey Johnson last year, where like you can watch the Kansas team playing like this team is utter garbage, and then there's Darren Peterson sitting there, and I don't even think they're optimizing the way they use Darren Peterson. Like he was a point guard going into college, and he primarily played off the ball. I think a lot of it was injury related too. Is like his body was pretty much cooked the whole way through. I think if you think he's fully healthy, I think he is my top player. What the fuck? What
Ignore
the hell?
that. Fully healthy, fully
Yeah,
healthy.
I think if you have medicals that indicate that he can eventually bounce back health wise, I would take Peterson first. In like 9 out of 10 scenarios, I would
When
say.
is the lottery? Is it in is it in
It's
March? No, wait, not March.
no,
June?
it's
April?
usually during the finals.
Okay.
Let's see. We can also transition this to did you see the new tanking provisions
Ooh.
that Shams tweeted
I did
about?
not. I'm not on Instagram, so my actual my like
Oh,
I need to log back in because I have no like I'm like so out of tune with the NBA kind of. Obviously, that's like where I get all my media from. You know what I mean?
well, honestly, if there's a month to do it in,
It's
it is
March. Yeah.
March because you're just not gonna consume all this smoke screen garbage that means absolutely nothing, which we'll talk about. There's a reason we're talking about college basketball. Um, so number one, um, 18 teams in the draft lottery, seeds 7 through 15 in each conference, with bottom 10 teams having an 8% chance to get the number one pick, and the remaining 20% odds are in direct order between 11 through 18.
So would the lottery expand by three, four? No, wait,
4.
four.
Yeah. Add 4 teams and
What's
wow.
like the percentage for the teams at the top now? Do you know?
I believe the number one, like the top 4 teams have a 14% chance, I believe. So they'd be dropping 6%. So that would really kill the
Yeah.
need to be one of the bottom 4. Yeah,
I mean, you can do
that's
it.
pretty good.
Hopefully, yeah. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't like lead to a bunch of like teams that are kind of middle of the pack getting the one pick. um,
Yeah, because then what will end up happening is
is
like
it
this
seven?
year, like
Is it a
maybe,
7 seed gets the lottery? No.
yeah, 7 seed is in the
So a team
lottery.
that makes the playoffs gets the lottery, gets a chance at the number one
Yeah,
pick.
could,
Yeah. I don't know if I
yeah,
love that. I
that's
don't know if I love that.
like the Hornets could win in the first round this year.
Yeah. And then also add like fucking A
Uh,
cuff or Boozer
yeah,
or
like
something.
they get Darren
Yeah.
Peterson, or they would go Boozer. They're like one of the few teams that would go
Yeah.
Boozer. They love Duke players.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or honestly, they could go Caleb. They would go. They would love Caleb Wilson in
Ooh.
Charlotte.
I can
That's
see
never
that'd
gonna
be a
happen. But like,
crazy. Would you run?
Caleb
Would
Wilson
you
would be
run
awesome for them.
Brandon Miller and Caleb Wilson out there at the same time?
Yeah, they have enough
Yeah,
shooting to deal with
dude,
Caleb Wilson not being able to shoot.
Lamelo, Con, Wilson, Miller, and who's their?
Anybody at center. Musa.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's fucking gross.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Now that it's gonna
Well,
happen, but go ahead.
the next one is a 22 team lottery system using 2-year record. So the previous year also plays into account for determining your odds. Okay. Lottery teams would reach a minimum win floor total in each of the seasons, such as 25 wins. If a team falls short of the floor, it gets slotted to meet. So I would assume if they don't get 25 wins within 2 seasons, they just can't get a top 4 pick, I believe is what this is
All
saying.
right. Well, is that even like how? There's no way. How many teams have
Yeah,
done that?
that's
Like
like,
the 76ers?
I
Probably
think
in
the
the
Wizards did do that very recently in
we won
the,
18 games
uh,
twice, I thought.
oh, really? Okay, so that would be 36 wins. Maybe 25 wins in one of the
Yeah,
seasons is what it
yeah.
means.
Because that means you just
That
have
would
to
make a little
win
bit more.
like 10 games 1 year and 50. Well, I guess that's kind of because like the Wizards haven't won
Yeah.
that many. Like I think we've won 17.
I was gonna say in the SAR year and one of the years surrounding it, I think you like averaged 12 wins. I mean, I could be completely wrong though.
I feel like the 76ers back like in the trust the process era because I remember they were getting like 8 wins or some shit like that.
Yeah. And then the third proposal is 18 teams in a 5x5 lottery. Bottom 5 teams have equal odds for the top pick, with lottery formed for picks 1 for 5. So there's only a 1 through 5 lottery. Bottom 5 teams have a floor at 10. Those that fall out of the top 5 will get sorted in a separate drawing. So I would assume it's like 3 sets of lotteries, I would assume.
Hmm. Like each one
Uh,
determining like a range of picks, like like
yeah.
the teams picking through 18 through 14 that gets decided by a lottery, then 14 through 10 gets decided by a lottery
I think they would do the other way. So I think they would do the top 5
with
first.
all the teams in it.
Yes, they would decide the top 5. And then any teams that were originally in the top 5 then are guaranteed to pick in the next set of 5.
Hmm.
And then they just kind of fill it out like that. I kind of
I
like
think
that a
I
little
think
bit. We
out
could
of
also
all the
meet.
ones, I might like that one the most so far.
Yeah. I do think the first option, which is expanding it, I don't know if I would expand it to the 7 seed. I
Yeah,
would
if
definitely.
they don't do the 7 seed, I think I'm on the same page.
I think if you win a playoff series, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like a 7 seed has won in the playoffs, I think each of like 2 of the last 3 seasons. I think the Lakers did in 23. The Heat won as an 8 seed in 23. Like you shouldn't be able to win a playoff series and then be able to jump up in the lottery, but otherwise I kind of don't hate those. Um, we're here to speak about Mickey Mouse March as well because I think this that fits in with the tanking side of things. Um, March basketball is not very normal. Is that the correct
That's a
word?
good way to put it.
Um, did you see the Pacers the other night?
Against the Clippers.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually watched the highlight the ending this morning. And then J Hop missed 2 free throws. I was like, oh my god, no way. You make 1 and 2. J Huff, I feel like I don't have the percentages in front of me, but I feel like he can knock.
80%.
And not only that, Pat, but the final 0.4 seconds took like 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, it was forever because Nemhard banked the 3 in as an inbounder.
Yeah. And then they fouled. And then
Yeah.
and then they called another timeout and they drew up the play, which was something I was going to kind of say. I was going to say what's interesting between the NBA and college basketball is you have an instance of that where 0.4 seconds is taking 15 minutes, right? And then in the Santa Clara, Kentucky game, we have a 3-pointer. This is all with like 3.2 seconds left. Yeah. No, there's like 15 seconds left. Otega Owe goes down, ties it up. Santa Clara goes down the floor, no timeout, just goes down, hits a 3 to go up 3 with like 1.3 or 2.4. Then no timeout. Otego gets the ball, goes and ties it up off an insane half court shot, bank it in. And that all took 15 seconds. And then you have a situation where 0.4 seconds takes 15 minutes. It's kind of crazy. That's
Yeah,
March. That's the March Madness of NBA.
yeah. I did the very responsible math of multiplying 20% times 20%, which is the chance of J-Hop missing a free throw, and there was basically a 4% chance of him missing both free throws there. Obviously, statisticians will tell me that that is improper um, way of using
Getting to the
those formulas.
But another
But
funny thing is, the announcer right before he shoots the second one goes, "Yeah, there's no way he's missing this one. This one's
he's making this
yeah,"
one.
and then he clanks off the top iron or the back iron.
If he would have shot them backwards, he would have made
Yeah,
them though. Yeah, J-Hope would have made it. Yeah, I actually don't think that. Do you think it was intentional? Like, I kind of don't think it was.
I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. I don't. I mean, I don't think it was intentional. I don't. I hope not, because otherwise,
Yeah,
it's the NBA's over. No way he missed two for tanking. I maybe the NBA made a call. I don't think he missed two for tanking. There's no, because that's like a little insane. Like at that point,
yeah,
like those guys, yes, they're in the NBA getting paid millions of dollars, but they're competitive as hell. There's no way you're trying to miss a free throw. You're gonna try to miss a free throw. You know what I mean?
yeah. Especially as like J-Huff when
You're
like
not a guy.
the team is
Sorry,
very.
go ahead. Go.
Yeah, the team will get somebody who will take your minutes
Yeah,
more likely than
100%.
not. So, and there's a real chance. For instance, they're playing the Clippers in this game, and the Clippers are the team that will be getting Indiana's pick if it falls out of the top four. So there's kind of like two things going on here. Like the Clippers need to be extra mad about this. Maybe the Clippers wanted to lose.
I don't know. Kawhi hit that
I don't know.
shot
I
though.
didn't watch the game enough.
Kawhi hit that
I
game
didn't
winning
watch the
shot.
game enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the
Yeah.
Pacers they just beat the Magic a couple. They've been very like weirdly competitive this week. They just beat the Magic 2 games ago. Um, but dude, Pascal Siakam is so nice. Like it's insane how good he is.
So
It
good.
is insane. No one can
Oh my
stop
God.
him when he's going to that basket.
I'm, it's gonna stink when they draft Cam Boozer fourth overall and then like they salary dump Siakam in 2 years. It's
Ooh,
gonna suck, but
that's hopefully this Pacer team is back when Halliburton comes back. I'm sure they will be because I mean they have some fun pieces. Like Neesmith is so good at shooting now. Ever since that playoff series, yeah, he's been turning it up.
Andrew Nemhard is like it's like watching college basketball is like every point guard is Andrew
Yeah,
Nemhard out there. Like that's how every like non-lottery pick point guard tries to play basketball. Like you watched Jeremy Fears Jr. last night. Tamin Lipsey is pretty awesome. Like I love watching Tamin Lipsey. Um, those guys like there's a lot of Andrew Nemhard in their games. They're not as good, but that's why they're not going, in the top 60 picks next year, more likely than not. You were just talking about the Magic, and that I wanted to talk about the play-in invitational. It's been going crazy. The Bulls have fallen out of it.
no,
They've been getting key production from Leonard Miller.
yeah. The Leonard Miller is he's been doing good for them, right? Like I was watching
Yeah,
the end of that not Thunder, the Rockets Bulls game where the Bulls won.
pretty sick. Lenny buckets. He's going crazy. I, you know, I know the Bulls definitely identified him using their terrible formula that told them that they should pay Patrick Williams 90 million, and then but a broken clock can be right. We'll say that it's right twice a day unless the wind blows it or something. Um, More on the play-in invitational. The Hawks, the Heat, and the Magic have each had their own hot streaks. The Magic and Heat had identical win streaks of 7 games and then identical losing streaks of 5 games. The Hawks won 11 in a row. And all this goes to say that March NBA basketball is very weird. What do we make of this current play-in race? Like, is there anything that like you actually believe in with it?
What do you mean by that? Like,
Like,
can the
what do you, I
teams?
guess really
Can
just
the?
what do you make of
I
it?
mean, first of all, what the hell happened to the Magic? My Eastern Conference standing pregame or preseasons is gonna look
Mine
so
too.
messed up. Um, but I mean, man, the Magic they've just struggled, and Franz has been hurt, and Desmond Bain just got a huge draft haul for him, and I was really had high hopes on this team, but they can't score. They struggle to score. And then when Paolo is getting a bunch of touches, if he's not on, it's going to be a bad day for the Magic. Um, but I mean, what to make of it? I think the 76ers and the Hornets are the clear favorites to come out of this looking pretty good. Especially with the 76ers having Embiid, this team is like it should be a fun little series between the Celtics and 76ers. One that we haven't seen in a while. It'd be nice to get that little matchup um put some air
Rewind.
back into that matchup. Put some life back into it. That's always a fun one. 76ers Celtics Tatum versus Embiid. You got Maxey, you got Edgecombe. And then the Hornets, man, probably one of the most fun teams in the league with a great offense. Con Kneppel, LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller. I mean, this team is insane. The additions of Kobe White, I think, were sneaky huge at the deadline because he has been balling for this Hornets team. Um, this,
Top four,
huh?
top four East team.
Yeah, yeah.
Not saying who I'm sliding out, but they're a top four East team.
I love. Oh, sorry, I almost got ahead of myself there. Yeah, I mean, this actually might be like we might have a pretty competitive, 1-8-2-7 matchup. Um, I guess if I'm the Hornets, I think would I rather get the Celtics? Probably the
I would want the
Pistons.
Pistons right
Yeah.
now. With Cade hurt, I would want the
Oh
Pistons.
my,
But
yeah, yeah. Because sorry, go ahead, go ahead. I'll speak on.
yeah, Cade will probably be returning within a week or so, but that's with 2 games left in the regular season to get his footing under him. And like the Pistons, I understand they've won games this season without Cade, but I don't. This Hornets team is a lot better than people like will probably give it credit for being, and they like are not somebody who you can go into a playoff series. Like they are going to be a better offense in the playoffs than the Pistons. I would think. Like the Pistons, especially if Cade is not like 100%. Like the Hornets are going to be a better playoff offense. Pistons obviously have the head up defensively, but like they really need Cade to like carry a huge load on offense. And even if we look at what he did this season, when he had to take a lot of like I think when he had to take over like 20 field goal attempts, he was like rather like subpar this season. So like you add on Russ to that and like how I would be a little concerned, especially if Cade like comes back and like those first 2 games that he's back, because he'll probably play 2 or 3 games. Um, if they don't look good, like I don't know, I could pick the Hornets in a series against the Pistons. I could. I'm not saying I will, but uh, they also do have to make the playoffs first. But I will bet on the Hornets to make. The real question is, will they actually be playing the Pistons or will they be playing the Celtics in the second round or in the as the second seed?
Yeah,
Is the real question.
yeah. I mean, you look at it. Celtics are 4 games back right now. I was actually, I learned about Cade's injury, and I keep forgetting about it, because I kind of never really saw it. But yeah, that's a huge blow. 4 games left. One of your offense, the engine to your offense, a guy who gets 10 can get 10 assists, 10 points, 10 boards, on any given night, really. But man, how good is Dennis Jenkins? How huge is Dennis Jenkins for this team?
True.
How good is Dennis for
St.
this
John's.
team, man? 30-point game, 8 assists against the Lakers last night. Or not last night, but recently. I don't know if you watched that game. It was on ESPN. Um, did you catch that one, Pat?
Yeah, well,
Oh
they were
wait,
the first team to beat the Lakers in the last like month.
yeah. I don't think that game was on Or no, I can't remember if it was on ESPN.
It was on. I feel like it was on Peacock.
Yeah, it was on something. Yeah, Baby Peacock. But James Jenkins goes in, drops 30. Luca only outscores him by 2. And that's during Luca's like crazy hot streak, which he is still on, by the way. Um, Dennis Jenkins is huge for this team. I think that he's gonna be really fun to watch in the playoffs. I think that's like a really good completer for them, like coming off the bench or maybe even starting at that shooting guard position. Um, but yeah, I agree with you. Like that Kate Cunningham thing is huge because that's their whole team. And as good as Dennis Jenkins is, this is not a number one seed Pistons team without Kate Cunningham, and they won't play like it without Kate Cunningham. And like you said, this Hornets team has really good offense. They can toughen up on defense when they need to. Um, they could have a couple games where they just run Detroit off the court with their shooting, and then you just need to win 2 more. You know what I mean? Um, and Charlotte's going to be insane as a playoff environment. What do you think?
Yeah, they have just 48 minutes of like good guard play with Knipple, Kobe White, and LaMelo Ball. That's like the key with them. So I would been like I would be really scared to face the point. Like as a Knicks fan, right? Like I'm looking here and I'm like, okay, honestly, I don't want to jump to the 2 seed or the 1 seed because then there's a chance I play Charlotte in the first round, and I just don't want that. Uh, no, thank you. Um, yeah. Should we talk about the run Luka's been on? They've gotten Reeves back, and they've been one of the best teams in the
Yeah,
league.
I mean, just goes to show you. I think I called for Reeves' breakout year last year. Um,
Never wrong, just early.
Never wrong, just early. That's how I always say. And we saw the flashes of it, but it's really exploded. And I think that um, JJ Redick is getting a lot more confidence in him and like drawing up plays for him as well. Because in that Pistons game, it wasn't Luca taking a couple of those last shots; it was Austin Reeves. But oh my gosh, Luca making a case. I guess I'll dip into some 65 game stuff. Is Luca close to being eligible? Is he eligible?
I'm not sure how many games he has left, but I think he's looking pretty good on that standpoint.
All right, yeah. I mean, you could be looking at the MVP. I mean, it's going to be hard to beat out Shea. And I'm always a Shea guy. I'm a Shea guy because every time I watch a Thunder game in the clutch, every single time I've turned on a Thunder game in the clutch, Shea has delivered. It's like insane. Every time I turn it on, he's made shots, threes, twos. It don't matter. Whatever he makes them. Um, but I mean, Pat, like this is like look. This is just like some recent games. 41 against the Nets, 43 against the Pacers, 32 against the Pistons, 33 against the Magic, the 60 ball against the Heat, the 40 ball against the Rockets. I mean, he's barely gone under 30. Yeah, he hasn't gone under 30 points since March 6th. Hasn't gone under 30
Yeah.
points since March 6th in the
Oh
NBA. In the
God,
NBA.
what a month.
That's unheard of.
Yeah, he's averaging like
It's
36 this
unheard
month.
of. And like, this was a Lakers team where I'm like, yeah, okay, they're going to make the playoffs. They won't be that good. Is the Lakers team a contender now? Is it contender-ish? What do we think? I mean, they might be. I mean, I think they turned me a little bit. Um, and we might get a
I'm a little concerned still,
yeah,
but they're looking
but
good.
I'm concerned about the Rockets, Pat. I'm concerned about.
Oh, I'm so out on the
Yeah,
Rockets.
I don't know what's going on, and it's not KD, ladies and gentlemen. It is not KD.
Not performance-wise.
No, I mean KD. I feel like KD. He's doing his best. He's not doing his best. He's fucking carrying that Rocket squad. It feels like no one else on that team like helps him on offense besides Sengun. Jabari Smith has been kind of very disappointing this year. I mean, that Rockets Timberwolves game, one of the most insane games ever, and one of the worst ways to lose a game. I don't know what happened with the Rockets. And then for
They do
KD,
it once a week too.
huh?
They do that once a week where they just
Yeah,
lose like in an impossible
yeah.
way.
I mean, they were up uh 9 points or no 11 points in OT with like 3 minutes to go. They had 3 minutes at the 11 point lead. 13. No, I'm
With no
sorry.
Anthony Edwards as well, right?
13 point lead. No Edwards. No Nas Reed. They were down 108 to 95, and then scored 15 straight. Went on a 15-0 run in 3 minutes. Um, I don't think McDaniels. I think McDaniels fouled out. No, he didn't. He didn't foul out. But like the scoring was just coming from
They get
Kyle
packed up by
Anderson.
Julius Randle and Bones
It was
Highland.
yeah, it was Kyle Anderson. It was Kyle Anderson, Julius Randle, Bones Highland, and then
Interesting.
finally what's his name got a three. Mike
Dante.
Conley hit a three. They had Mike.
Oh wait, oh yeah, it was Mike.
Yeah, it was Mike Conley was
Mhm.
running the three out there, and then finally DiVincenzo hit one to tie it up, and then KD misses 2 free throws. Man, that sucks because I love how KD's been playing. Maybe they'll turn it around in the playoffs, but I'm concerned. Yeah, and I think you are as well. Um, Houston has a problem.
As soon as Steven Adams got hurt, I was like, there goes their edge,
Yeah,
right? That's how they're like consistently like an elite offensive rebounding team. They lost Fred at the start of the season, and like those are two super important players. That on top of Dorian Finney-Smith, like being garbage this season, like literally can't make shots whatsoever. Like not like in the Jabari Smith way, where like Jabari has a good 2 weeks and then a bad 2 weeks. Like Dorian Smith just never has the good 2 weeks. He just 2 bad weeks in a
and
row every
that's a
time.
guy that I was super high on in free agency when they got him,
I don't know what
and
happened.
a guy that was too bad Sheldon last year wasn't doing the takes because remember I was like
You were so
I
out
was
on him.
so
You were never wrong just early.
I
I
was
think
so
I
I
think
was
Pelinka
and
wasn't
I was
lying.
literally like I just don't think the 3 point I don't think the 3 point shot can do it. I don't think that and, now we're seeing it. Uh, I got lucky, I will say that because this fall off it kind of came out of nowhere because Dorian Finney-Smith is a huge piece that just they've been missing and they're missing a lot right now, like you said with Steven Adams and Van Vliet.
Yeah. East playing or West playing?
Which one's
Which one's
which
better?
one's better?
Yep. West playing for people who don't know is Suns, Clippers, Blazers, Warriors, and then East playing is technically also Raptors and Hawks, but they're not in it right now. 76ers, Hornets, Magic, and Heat.
I'll go. I think the West. I want to say the West, Pat, because
Did you see the Warriors lineups recently?
that is
Like, have you been
true.
seeing them?
That is true. But they've also been winning games. Some. No, not really. I'm not really talking about.
It is.
I think the Clippers and the Suns are really strong teams. I guess the Blazers are kind of. You know what? I'll go East. I think they have a more volume of good teams. Where the West just have the Clippers and Suns, who I think are like pretty legit teams, even without James Harden for the Clippers.
Yeah, let's say this. We run a basketball podcast. It is very rare that players who I've never heard of start a basketball game, and that happened the other day when the Warriors played the Knicks. They started Malivi Leons. No idea who that is. He played 19 minutes. Their starting lineup was Will Richard, Podziemski, Quentin Post, Guy Santos, and Leons.
Yo, shout out Will Richard, man. Shout out Will Richard. He went like 4 for 4 from three in the one of the games I watched. Yeah, I mean that team's rough right now. I mean, Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler got hurt, and then it felt like everyone on the Warriors like disappeared. I mean, this is a team that traded for Kristaps, and now they're rolling up like Washington Wizards highlight or Washington Wizards rosters. Like they're trying to.
Anthony Gill would be
Anthony Gill.
so key for them right now.
Anthony Gill would be averaging 15 per game. And Anthony Gill. We don't got beef in real life, but you're a great locker room guy. But
did you? And we're talking about more. This is just to lay down the March basketball thing. 2 weeks ago, the Bucks played a game against the Utah Jazz.
Oh boy.
It was a 30-point Jazz blowout. And I'm pretty sure they were trying to lose because they played, let's see, what is his name?
The Nasty.
Anderson Garcia.
Who?
Anderson Garcia.
How many minutes?
48 minutes.
No, he didn't. No, they did not.
He played the whole game. They only played eight. You probably will only be able to name outside of Anderson Garcia, you'll probably only be able to name 3 players that they played.
You want me to try?
Game. Try to guess.
Between for the Jazz?
Just the Jazz. Ace played. He dropped 33, one of his better games all year.
Ace Bailey. Did Mamu or did an M play? Did one of the M's play? Chevy?
No.
Do they have him?
No. Mamu's a rocket or a
Don't they have like a Svi or something though?
Oh, Svi Mikhailuk. No, he did not play. He was DNP'd.
Can I get Keyshawn George?
No, they wrote him out for the year.
Oh. Sensabaugh?
He's too good.
I think Sensabaugh's hurt too, right?
He did not play. I think they also ruled him out.
Flip?
Flip started at center.
Okay.
There's one more that you can get. And it's not that he's good either. It's just
Cody Williams.
Cody Williams. He was the third most notable player that I played.
Man. That's crazy.
Earl Harkless, I believe.
Okay.
Elijah Harkless.
Okay.
From UNLV was their starting point guard. 35 minutes that game. Bez Mabang played 35 minutes off the bench.
And Pat, sorry, just to kind of piggyback off you, 2 games ago, Mabang played 44 minutes as well. Mabang played 44 minutes against the Wizards.
Then Bryce Hinson and then Oscar Tshiebwe, who most people do remember Oscar Tshiebwe from the draft a couple years ago. He was like one of the interesting players. The funny thing too is the Bucks played basically everybody. Like they did start Ousmane Dieng and like they pulled Miles Turner really early into the game. But like,
that's everybody right there. That's the GOAT. That's a crazy first name.
Cam Thomas. We need to talk about Cam Thomas because he's been released.
Yeah, I think it's over for him, Pat. I think
over.
That was the final straw, and man, he missed out on some bread.
It unfortunately happened the exact like the way we talked about it in the offseason, like we never we never prefer to talk about things in the most negative manner possible. Like we try to keep it pretty even keeled. We kind of alluded that we thought like he was clearly setting himself up for a bad financial thing. I didn't really think he was gonna get waived twice in a season, and like not a single team has Cam Thomas's bird rights at all.
Especially, I didn't like with that, but with the Bucks, he had such a good first game. I was like, oh, maybe Giannis will want to stay.
He had about a 5-month stretch without getting a steal as an NBA wing.
What?
He had from November. I guess that's not 5 months. November to earlier this month with the Bucks, he did not have a steal.
Wow, that's crazy. Not even a loose ball that he picked up.
Yeah, not even like somebody dropping the ball.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's so done for Cam Thomas. Like he should have taken the 30 M's like we said.
All I keep seeing, Pat, is last year, this player averaged 24.8 per game, and now he's out of the league. That's all he'd be seen on my YouTube story. I'm like, he played like 18 games, bro. He never barely played last year.
Yeah, and like even if you did watch him play, like you could see like, okay, this is not like a real like impactful scorer. Like he can score, but it's not like lead your team offense wise. And yeah, it's so over for Cam Thomas, unfortunately. He'll probably end up on a team next season. He can't play in the playoffs, so I don't see a team picking him up. And then like there's no reason for a bad team to pick him up right now because all he's gonna do is like try to ball out to save his value, and then it's gonna ruin your tank. So for that standpoint, he might end up on the Pelicans. We should talk about the Hawks because with the Bucks' recent falling, and they're probably about to roll Giannis out for the rest of the year. The Hawks have, even with the Pelicans getting better, the Hawks have a very good chance of getting a top pick this year because they can have either the Hawks, or not the Hawks, the Pelicans or the Bucks jump up. If either of those things happen, the Hawks get the pick. So the Hawks are in a
Because
good
they get
position right
whoever
now.
gets the Bucks.
Yeah, they get the higher of the two. Should we talk about the king of Mickey Mouse March?
Who? Is that the Hawks?
It is a hawk.
Yeah. Oh, it's a Hawk.
It's a hawk.
Is it McCollum?
No. Bad player here. We're talking about a bad player.
Dyson D. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's not Kuminga. I know you're not calling
It is
Kuminga.
Kuminga.
No, a bad player, not Kuminga.
It is Kuminga. It is Kuminga.
Why do you,
He's
the
gonna
Hawks
have
are on
a.
an 11-game win streak because of Kuminga. It's
We'll
what
see.
crazy. Nah,
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Kuminga's had
here,
his
Pat.
he's had his
Why is
good
he the
5 game
king
stretches.
of Mickey Mouse March? I'm very curious.
He does he does this every season. He did it with the Warriors too. Like, don't be fooled by this. No, I don't think the Hawks really, when they traded for Kuminga, they were really like, oh yeah, we're getting Kuminga and he's going to be like an integral part of what's going on. Like, I'm sure their mindset was like, oh yeah, we're just going to decline his team option at the end of the year, or like if we pick it up, we get him as like an expiring salary. Yeah, I wish. Okay, yeah, I can pull up his career splits. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so I guess March is in line kind of with his career averages, but yeah, and like his highest month as far as like games played, right, or games started is March. So
No.
let's go Kuminga.
Okay, there we go.
Let's go Kuminga. But like he even like outside of March, like he'll have starts of the seasons that are really good, and then he like stops trying to play basketball, and then it sucks. Like he does that every year. He did it this past year. He did it the year before. I think he had a good March in 2020 2024 March. I believe his 2024 March was really good because we were talking about him pretty highly in the first Warriors offseason show. But yeah, he's gonna have an awesome like last 8 games of the season, and then the Hawks are gonna be so surprised when like he sucks in the playoffs. I don't think they'll be surprised. I think Ansi Solid knows what he's doing. Any other late season predictions that we want to call out there?
I want to shout
Can be
out
a shot in
Juju
the dark.
Reese, man. Juju Reese. Wizards never play him for some reason. We just be keeping him in the G League. And then every time he plays, he just like absolutely pops off. I think he had 20. Oh, let me pull it up real quick. Just got to get my Juju Reese shout out in. 26 points and 17 rebounds against the Jazz. 12 points, 6 rebounds, 18 points, 20 rebounds against the Jazz. Well, I guess every time he plays the Jazz, he just turns into like prime Shaq because he's averaging 20 rebounds and 20 points against the Jazz this season. But yeah, it's kind of cool. It's cool
Go.
to see, man. It's cool to see him doing so good. Especially because like I know coming out of college, he kind of no one was talking about him like at all. So good for him. As far as predictions go,
MVP.
oh,
Who's
I'll
gonna
go
come away with
Luca.
it?
I'll go Luca, which is I think the first time I've ever even said that because I usually have Luca third all the time. Um, I'll go
Perpetually.
I'll go Luca because I think as he obviously has the numbers, and then this 2 week stretch that he's been in is insane. Like, and I think some of it's recency, so it's gonna be in a lot of people's minds, and it's certainly not hurting the averages at all. He's averaging like 33 a game or something like that. I think so. It's very impressive. So yeah, I'll go Luca.
Yeah, I like it. I kind of like it's a very up in the air MVP race. Um, yeah, I think if the Lakers continue to play well and like they do stay as the 3 seed, I think there's a good chance Luka wins MVP because I don't know, they could give it to Shea again or they could give it to Wemby for his first MVP, but I don't know. Like the Lakers been so good, of course, in March. We'll see how it translates over into the playoffs, and we'll talk about that more once we get to playoff time. But yeah, shout out to Luca. He's been balling. Yeah. Anything else you want to hit before we get out of here?
Nah, man. Hopefully it's another crazy playoffs. We're gonna see a lot of good teams, a lot of good players, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree. We'll be talking to you next week. Um, we'll be back on the weekly schedule.
Yes.
Uh,
Looks like the
yeah, no
computer
no
is
more.
finally able to handle Riverside's programming, whatever.
Uh, I would like hope so.
Yeah, I
I
know.
really do. Otherwise, I was at a loss for words. I was like, I really don't know what we would do about that.
No, we're good. We're good. My computer's
Yeah.
be tweaking.
Well, whatever. MLB has started. We're excited. Paul Skeens fraud watch has
Come
started.
on,
I'm
man.
joking, but
It doesn't help when O'Neal Cruz is in center field and dropping two fly balls to make a 5-run inning in the first.
I don't know how he messed up
After
two
and
fly
you ruin a
balls.
Brandon Lau 2 home run game. Come on.
It's
Come on.
terrible. All right. Well, yeah, we'll see you next week. I don't know what we'll do. We're gonna eventually do draft boards. Those will be later, probably over the summer.
Yeah.
Honestly, I
Closer to
don't
the
think
draft,
we'll get to them.
probably.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
like a
yeah, we'll see
shoot
you
for like a
next
week or
week.
two before.